Though she was clearly the esteemed daughter of the chancellor, her body was covered in scars. It turned out that to curry favor with the royal family, her father had handed her over to her stepmother for discipline from childhood. On the surface, she was to learn royal etiquette. Actually, it was to make her timid and submissive, so she could better please the royals. Growing up, she never received a single word of approval. As soon as she came of age, her father immediately married her off to a prince in his 70s. She thought she would be bullied for the rest of her life, but a sudden strong wind on the way made the bearers mistakenly deliver her to the general's mansion. At first, the general didn't realize he'd married the wrong person. He even fell in love with her at first sight. It wasn't until a servant rushed to reveal the truth that they realized the mix-up. Terrified, she tried to distance herself from the general. But contrary to the rumors that he was a bloodthirsty killer, he was gentle. He first calmed her down, then sent someone to contact the prince. As she held the hot tea the general handed her, she felt warmth in her heart for the first time. Just then, a guard brought shocking news. The prince had already entered the room with his bride. She might never be able to marry him. Her family, fearing the prince's wrath, refused to let her return home. Crushed by the news, she broke down. Seeing this, the general comforted her and offered to marry her, worrying only that she might dislike his rough way of life. To his surprise, she hesitated for a moment before saying she was willing. Disbelieving, he pressed her to confirm, and instead of answering, she bravely kissed his cheek. Meanwhile, the prince sent men to the general's mansion to take her away, saying that though she couldn't be his wife, she could serve as his maid. Before the man finished speaking, a spear flew out of the room and pierced his chest. It was the general, who stepped forward to protect her, declaring that she was now his wife and no one could take her away. Unaware of his intentions, she thought he had yielded to the prince's power and was going to send her back. But to her astonishment, the general walked into the room carrying a pot of hot soup, one he'd just learned to make from his mother. The scene reminded her of her miserable childhood at home. Even when she was so hungry she could barely stand, her stepmother refused to let her stop training, mocking her for being too delicate. Now, the general cared for her so tenderly that she couldn't help shedding tears of gratitude. Misinterpreting her tears, the general panicked, thinking she disliked the soup, and promised to practice more. Touched even deeper, she finished every drop. When the general left the room after seeing her finish, she mistakenly thought he was rejecting her.